You're listening to Cards to the Moon, a podcast about trading cards from both a collector and investor perspective. We hope you'll stick around for the ride as we take a deep dive into the state of the hobby, share some hot takes, hopefully some useful advice, and fun stories along the way. Hey guys, welcome back to Cards to the Moon. My name is Clark from 5Card Guys on Instagram and 5cardguys.com. And we have the whole gang back together for this 96th episode with Hyung of Integrity Sports Cards and John, who is Trade You at Recess on Instagram as well. So for this Friday episode, off the top, I thought we could answer a question that came in from one of our loyal podcast listeners, Sleepy in Seattle, who asks, when targeting a prospect as an investment, what's the better play? A base Bowman Chrome first auto, right? Base Bowman Chrome first autograph card, or the subsequent year prospect autograph card, but it's a low serial numbered. Do you know what we're saying here?
I think I kind of understand what he's trying to get at.
Well, we're trying to think like what's a good player that we can, illustrate this example with. So Jason Dominguez, can you bring that up, Hyung?
Yeah, we could. I guess an example would be like Jason Dominguez First Bowman Chrome auto. Would you rather that or kind of like either the next release where it's not a first Chrome auto or potentially a prospect card of the next year that's numbered? Right. I'm assuming that's what he's asking. So which one's kind of like the better investment, right?
Yeah,
right.
And he was a little bit more specific in the email. So like the second year or the next release,
the next yeah, okay.
Yeah, the next release autograph card, but it's a gold number to 50. So would you rather have that or the
base
base first Bowman Chrome?
That is a good question. I mean, like the true OG in me is saying you need the first Chrome auto. Like that's where it's at. So like I'm always for the first Chrome autos, but I don't think it's a bad play personally. If you're looking to, I guess, invest, the only thing I think where it makes sense is not on release or like when that player isn't particularly he's the chase, and then the next release comes out. So we'll take Jason Dominguez again as an example. 2020 Bowman came out, he was the biggest chase. And then the next release was like a mega box and his autos are going for like ridiculous amounts, which obviously ended up crashing because they can't sustain itself. But I think in the long run, because the first Chrome autos will hold a lot better, I think those other cards will kind of like maybe dip and there might be a buying opportunity, I think, kind of in the future. And I look back, if you look at kind of like previous cards, and the whole first Chrome auto is a little different, I guess, the prospecting game. But I'll take Juan Soto, for example, because his cards make sense to me because all the way through like 2018 when his rookie card was available, it's he doesn't have too many cards. We talked about this on the podcast before. So where the first Chrome auto, he doesn't even have a first Chrome non-auto. And then the second year, like color might be a good buy at that point, right? Because there's really no, I guess, variations of Juan Soto cards just in general. And that could be a really good investment, I think, in the long run because it is still a prospect card. And the time has passed where kind of like the prices of maybe the second year Chrome has fallen where it's not like close to the auto. And you'll see that more in the recent releases for recent players. But I think overall there might be a good buying point. I just think the sooner the release, probably you rather stick to the first Chromes because if any price goes the other way in a bad direction, the first Chromes will retain value way stronger than kind of like that second year.
Yeah. How about you, John? What do you think?
I think I'm opposite. I think for me, it's a very easy choice. It's going to be the Bowman first. And you know, like with any card set, you know, within any sports, we always talk about second year is underrated. Like go for second year Giannis, go for second year LeBron, go for second year McDavid or whatever, right? That's a general concept that works in most sets and across all sports. But baseball is very unique and it's very specific, where Bowman first, which to me is not the rookie card, it's the first appearance card. But for baseball, and it could be due to the fact that you take the MLB license and you plaster it onto their minor league pictures, and then it kind of looks like a major league card. That could be it. But for one reason or another, you know, hobby logic, first appearance in baseball has become bigger than the actual major league rookie card. And I think that is super unique to baseball. And for Bowman, like pre-rookie card, any subsequent year, like the second year or third year, Bowman before that said player actually makes it to the majors, to me, I'm not as bullish. Like, I don't know. I think when those sets come out, especially he's asking specifically like the second year red auto or the second year gold auto. I think when that set comes out and it's hot and there's chases, for sure it'll be hot. You know, like a second year Jason Dominguez or something like that, right? But you just sell it. I would probably just sell it while it's hot and while the chase is on. Beyond that, long term wise, I think I'm a little bit different. I don't see the huge upside or huge potential. Obviously, any player that is big enough, he's gonna pull and draw value out of almost any set. But yeah, second year cards being underrated is a thing, but in the Bowman world, I don't know. I think it's a little unique.
That's fair. And just to be on the record, you guys are both saying First Bowman Chrome, right? Like you said.
It's like for me, it's like First Bowman Chrome for sure. But I just don't think it's not a bad play. Like if you're priced out of it, I think a few years after, like let's just say Dominguez kind of goes on, he has a rookie card, then Julio Rodriguez might be a perfect example. Now that Julio's cards are pumping out, right? His 2019, 2020 cards might go down a bit, right? So it might be a better time to buy and invest in that time. But for sure, I'd rather have a first Chrome. It's like, I won't even go there. Yeah. I won't even give an analogy or anything.
I'm not going to go there either because, First Bowman Chrome all the way. For sure. Sleepy in Seattle, First Bowman Chrome sweep here on the.
But let me ask you guys a question. Okay, let's just say Mike Trout, you got his 2009 Bowman Chrome auto. Let's just say time has passed because obviously that's a Grail card. But you know, $10,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people. So it's like, would you not entertain a low numbered Mike Trout Bowman pre-rookie? So 2010. So I'm thinking in Mike Trout cards, there might be Bowman Sterling or there's a Bowman Platinum auto that sells for well, right? So if you got in early enough, let's just say where you're paying $500 for that card, and now that numbered card is worth, you know, potentially 5 figures, like a Bowman Platinum Gold, for instance. I think it was 2010. So prospect card. So long term, is there an opportunity there? I think so, right? And it all dependent on the player. Now that like modern print runs are crazy, you might not see that scarcity. So Juan Soto might be scary. That. Yeah, exactly. So I think a player like Juan Soto, who has scarcity in cards, I think it's a perfect marriage. Right. Whereas like Jason Dominguez, in the height of the card boom, was probably overproduced. Right. So I think it's all dependent on kind of like that player at the end of the day. Yeah.
I think now that you kind of see the landscape shaking out, some of these concepts like going for second year Bowman Sterling, Mike Trout back in the day, look how valuable it is, or second, whatever different concepts that we may have that we think long term it's going to work in modern day. I think it's different because modern day cards, there's just so much to choose from. And I think if you're not Bowman First, or if you're not Topps Chrome Flagship, you're gonna kind of start to get just completely lost in the shuffle. And I get worried that, like we talked about, we joke about all the time, Flux and all these sets. I don't know. Like, I don't know how valuable they'll be, because they'll just be sort of one of a million other crazy, like non-flagship sets, right? So I think it's pretty easy for me.
Yeah, I'm with Johnny on that. And but the Mike Trout example was a good one, because I think in some ways it is definitely player dependent, right? But these days, these newer prospects, we'll talk about J-Rod in a future episode, but like there's so many different cards and variations getting pumped out that I'm losing track of what's what. And that's dangerous, because I think like right now when the market's tanking, like I think you made this point earlier, Hyung, that the first Bowman Chrome will hold its value the best. All the other ones just kind of really crashed hard, right? The second and third and fourth prospect auto type cards. So yeah, so it depends on the player, but generally speaking, if you're collecting now, we would probably say stick with the first Bowman Chrome Auto. You got tradition. A lot of OG collectors love it. So I think in that way, there'll be demand there as well. So, all right, hope that helped Sleepy in Seattle. And if you guys have any questions for us to debate or to talk about, we'd love to hear them. You could always reach out to us at hello@fivecardguys.com or on Instagram at cardstothemoon. All right, we spoke about first Chrome autos. So I want to also bring up the 2022 Bowman Chrome boxes that are being released this week. Tomorrow, actually, as of this recording, Hyung reminded us. So,
yes.
So yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Hyung is our Bowman Chrome expert. So can you tell us
I wouldn't
who
say
to look out for?
Expert. I would say more addict would be the proper.
Addict, okay.
I just like the releases. I like the prospects. I like the shiny
too.
stuff, the first chromes, the colors. So it's exciting, obviously, because there's a new release, and the release is actually pretty decent. It's actually releasing tomorrow, Wednesday. Yep. So I've already kind of joined a break for tomorrow. So we have
okay.
So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully by the time this airs, I'll be, a week happier. But I
chasing?
think you know what? I went in with Seattle.
Okay.
And this is a good discussion. Maybe we talk about it in that future episode with J-Rod, but I just thought, a J-Rod chase might not be bad because it's three hobby cases of Seattle. So I paid a bit for it, but I think you're going to get a lot of base cards, potential for like rookie autos. I'm not going ironically, I'm not going chasing prospects. I'm actually chasing J-Rod at this point, but there's a lot of chase guys like Jackson Merrill on the Padres. He's the top prospect on the Padres right now. He's a shortstop. Jackson Churio from the Brewers. He didn't have a first Chrome auto in last year's release. So he's a big chase. I think his base auto already sold. I think somebody got access to it for like $475, the base auto raw, right? So obviously it's inflated in that price, but I mean, he's a big time prospect. I think he's super young and he's going to do some damage next year as well. There's guys like Roddick Area, as we talked about it, I think in the previous show, we thought it was going to be an earlier release. Big Yankees prospect because of obviously the team. And then Nationals have a couple guys like Brady House that didn't have a Bowman Chrome, and Christian Vaquero, who's the number 2 prospect, I believe. International signing. So you have that in conjunction with the rookie autos like J-Rod Wander, Bobby Witt Jr. So I think it and Bowman Chrome usually isn't like a paper release where they overprint it to the moon. It's going to be more of a limited release, and obviously people are going after the prospects. So I think it's going to be a fun rip. I think early breaks seem to be selling out pretty well. Especially for those teams like the Padres, Brewers, Yankees, Nationals, Red Sox. They're all gonna be like sold out always. I think at least until Bowman Draft comes out, and then one minor league season, and then it totally changes the landscape. But that's prospecting for you. So just beware. If you might want to think of having short selling periods. While the product's hot.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited. I always try to get a box of at least one Bowman Chrome. Do you know how much boxes are going for now? Or
I do not. I honestly didn't even look into it. I know I paid a ton for Seattle though, and I figured, you know what, J Rod has enough base in it where I think in the long run it'll be fine. So hopefully we pull something color of J Rod, and then I have some good news.
that'd be amazing. I just looked it up. It's about $360 Canadian for a hobby box. And $170, they have a light box as well.
And what's how many autos in the hobby box in Chrome? It's is it two
autographs per hobby box on average.
So 2022 Bowman, like the Bowman is usually one auto in a hobby box. So Chrome is two autos, which is good. And then draft, I believe, is three autos. And then they'll have a jumbo that corresponds, I think, to that. I don't think Bowman Chrome has a jumbo. But Bowman Draft will have a jumbo with three to five autos, so that's probably going to be on the next release. So
they have an HTA box too, so that comes with
just three autos, right? And this is the gamble. This is the gambler in you, man. I'm telling you, if you're all about the autos, it's fun to join in on a break. So there's a couple of breakers I'll just give a shout out to because they've been awesome in the hobby. Corn Belt Breaks, Joe Gregory runs that, and then Keeson McPherson runs Pristine Break. They've been great. They always break Bowman, so if you're looking or interested in a break, go check them out. I think they usually are very reputable in the hobby, and they're always cracking Bowman. So you could pick a team and roll the dice, and not advice though.
You know what? That's just going on my Christmas wish list. I'm going to get myself a box, and it'll be amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for that, Hyung. Let's move on now to our Friday discussion of the day, and it's about hobby pet peeves. I put an Instagram reel up a few days ago on 5 Card Guys talking about this subject, and it got pretty good engagement. So I'll share a few from the comments, and then let's rank them on how much it bothers you from a scale of 1, being doesn't bother you at all, to 10, which means huge hobby pet peeve. All right? So it'll be a fun little discussion today. The first one is the reel I actually put up to start the discussion, and it's when you search for silver prisms, for basketball, silver prisms, and you see there's one that you think that's a really good deal until you read the heading and it says not silver. So it's really a base card, right? So that's kind of annoying. I'm going to put that as a 8 for me, hobby pet peeve, just wasting my time. How about you guys?
Go ahead, Johnny. I don't know what I think about this.
I don't think I've run into that one all that often because I generally have not been searching silvers, but I think that would get kind of annoying. I'm gonna put it at a 7. Very, very misleading. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think that's the bottom line. It's pretty misleading, but I don't get. I told you this earlier, Clark. I don't get too annoyed with other people doing whatever they need to do. That's their own responsibility. So I'm gonna say a 3. Although I would say it is misleading, but they understand how the algorithm works. So kudos to them.
I feel like the rest of this, Hyung's going to be giving it low numbers.
That's pretty low. Yeah, I'm pretty chill guy in general.
That's his, he's a pretty chill guy. All right, second one. Someone wrote this on my comment. Seeing eBay sell listings with 5 different players on it, but none of them are on the card.
Who does that?
You could get J-Rod, you could get, all these other players.
Right. And then it's Whit Merrifield.
Yeah, exactly. It's another card from the set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Probably goes along the same as a not silver. Like probably a little bit annoying when you're searching, but yeah, I'm gonna put this one because it's not as direct as not silver. I'll put it at a 6.
Yeah,
me too. 6 sounds good for that one.
I'll stay with my 3 because not saying that it's right. I think it's kind of stupid, to be honest. But I mean, whatever. These guys are trying to play ahead of the game. So if anything, it's like
Hyung's giving respect to these guys.
I'm definitely not giving any respect. They obviously have the reasons on why they do it. I think it's stupid, but more power to you.
but kudos. Okay. This one's probably going to be similar, so we can skip by this real quickly. When you're searching for sets, I guess not a lot of people search for sets, but they come across those quote complete your sets listings instead. So it's just the cards within the.
Right.
Is that the one where you can do like a drop down menu and pick your card?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I think it's kind of on the same lines. It could be misleading. I'm going to skip to the next one. Okay. eBay 1 of 1.
Oh,
if you see that on the headings, the eBay 1 of 1 listings. What does? Yeah.
There's only one on eBay.
That's what they mean, right?
Yeah, that's what they mean. It's like the only one on eBay.
How do you know that's going to be always true?
It might not be.
It's true.
And that's the thing. Some people, I checked a pop report on a J-Rod earlier, and they said pop 1. I'm like, no way, this is a pop 1. It's like a pop 5 now. I'm like, this guy's outdated. Right. That means he didn't sell his card. But anyways, so true. Yeah, like 1 of 1 listings for me. I think it's stupid too. Like, I think it's ridiculous.
But kudos to the guy for getting up.
To each their own. Like, yeah.
You know what?
It doesn't really bug me though.
At this point,
I laugh sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think at this point, the eBay 1 of 1 has become like a hobby meme that I somewhat enjoy seeing it and laughing at the listing when it comes out rather than being annoyed. Well, you know what I think is more annoying to add to the eBay 1 of 1 is when somebody says like pop 1, but it's like,
oh,
it's like Grant Williams pop 1.
I see that way.
Because it's a pop 1 because nobody sends that card in. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
It's all about context, right? Yeah. That's a good one too. All right, last one I had on this list is, well, someone wrote this on the comments as well. Thinking you found a steal, like a Grail card, but you find out it's a Panini digital card. I don't even know how you sell those on eBay, but I've seen those as well. Like the Topps Bunt. Remember those digital cards back in the day?
You'll see a lot of like Logoman 1 of 1, and you're like, oh my goodness, there's a Luca Logoman 1 of 1 on eBay, and it's like, oh, digital. No wonder.
Only on computer. Yeah. You only get to see it on computer. That's the translation, right?
Yeah. I'll put that as a 5. I just think that's more funny because I've seen it happen several times.
It's one of those things where you feel like it's very exciting to start off, and then you kind of get disappointed. It's not so much like something that's super annoying or like a hobby pet peeve. I'm gonna put it low. I'm gonna put it like a 2.
Yeah, I'm staying low, but I've ran into that before, and it's usually if the price is too good to be true, it probably is, right? So usually that's the flag, and you're just like, oh, I could have snagged a deal, but it's not the 1 of 1 or whatever you want, right? So I'm gonna put it as a 1.
Okay. I thought, this was a fun segment. There was like a few others that I didn't include, like
a lot of hobbyists. They're or whoever's in the hobby, they're very upset or angry. Like they get annoyed pretty easy. Jeez, I didn't know there was such things. I got to go check out these comments.
I know.
But it's just pretty funny actually when you read the comments, because you're like, oh man, I can relate. I've seen those listings before.
But that's the beauty of it. This is the beauty of the hobby, is you got all different characters, of people, and then people have differences of opinions. Some think it's annoying, some think it's funny, entertaining. Right. It's a bit of everything, right? And that's the hobby.
Yeah.
That is the hobby.
These are just small, tiny annoyances to me. I think we talked about the real hobby pet peeve on the last show when we were all talking about our experiences on in the card show. And it's the fact, like Clark, you said it, man, your main experience walking to the card show is everybody's giving you 60% on comps for your cards.
Right.
And then they have like 200% over listing on their cards. Yeah. And it's like, come on, guys. Like,
right.
Yeah, that to me, that's a real hobby pet peeve when like you have dealers that are
Or getting
very
skunked on a break.
Oh, true.
Skunked on breaks, yeah. That's a good.
Oh, that's a great one. Or spending
high on mine.
$50 on a blaster, you end up with like a
relic.
like a nobody.
Not the auto.
You get a SP of a no-name guy.
Right.
Like,
there's no worse feeling than you're like, I just wasted money. Yeah. You're excited to rip it, rip, and you're like, I just wasted so much money.
come on, you should know better when you buy retail. That's the likely outcome.
Hey man, I feel like that when I rip a hobby too. It's a problem.
It's all about gambling and getting the high on the potential hit, right? Anyway, if you guys have other hobby peeves you want to share with us, just for a laugh, send those to us at Cards to the Moon as well, and maybe we'll revisit this. One other thing, not PSA 10. That's a killer too.
That's good.
That's right.
Clever marketing.
People know how to work the algorithm. All right. That wraps up today's episode for Cards to the Moon. We're glad you can join us, and we'll be back with a brand new full-length episode on Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see you then. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Cards to the Moon. We'd really appreciate you subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also connect with each of us on Instagram at 5cardguys, or you can follow Hyung at Integrity Sports Cards, or John at TradeU at Recess. You can also check us out at 5cardguys.com. Thanks again, and hope to connect soon.